You've probably seen it, that little golden C stitched onto a rugged brown jacket, walking down city streets, flashing in music videos, or hanging on fashion runways. It's Carhartt, a brand once worn by railroad workers and farmers, now repped by rappers and skaters. How did a company that built clothes for men shoveling coal end up being a global streetwear icon? The story is more than just fashion trends. It's about timing, rebellion, and a weird twist of authenticity that no one could have predicted. So today, let's dig into one of the most surprising transformations in fashion history. How did Carhartt go from workwear to streetwear? Right here, on History of Simple Things. The story begins in Detroit, 1889. Hamilton Carhartt, a businessman with a knack for practicality, set out to create durable clothing for railroad workers. His slogan said it all: honest value for an honest dollar. He wasn't thinking about fashion. He was thinking about survival. His jackets and overalls were made from heavy duck canvas and triple-stitched seams, built to withstand dirt, sweat, sparks, and time itself. Carhartt's early customers weren't influencers. They were the backbone of America's working class. Miners, mechanics, farmers, factory hands. People who didn't care about how they looked, only that their clothes could take a beating. And for decades, that's exactly what Carhartt stood for: toughness, reliability, no nonsense. By the mid-1900s, the brand had become a quiet staple in American work culture. You didn't buy Carhartt to make a statement. You bought it because it worked. But somewhere down the line, that very idea, authenticity, durability, and being the real thing, would catch the eyes of an entirely different crowd. Fast forward to the 1980s. America's industrial scene was changing. Factories were closing, jobs were shifting, and the working-class image began to evolve from reality to symbol. Carhartt's rugged look, heavy jackets, oversized fits, utilitarian pockets, started to stand for something else: rebellion. In cities like New York and Detroit, Carhartt gear was practical. The thick jackets kept you warm during cold nights. The baggy pants gave you room to move. Skaters, graffiti artists, and hip-hop communities started picking them up. Not because they wanted to look like factory workers, but because they respected that same grit. The funny part? Carhartt didn't market to them at all. There was no campaign saying, "Hey rappers, wear our overalls." The streets just adopted it. And in the world of style, that's the purest kind of endorsement there is. By the early 1990s, something unexpected was happening. Hip-hop culture, which was all about self-expression, resistance, and authenticity, found a mirror image in Carhartt's rugged simplicity. The brand became part of the visual language of early rap videos and street photography. Icons like Tupac and Nas were spotted in Carhartt jackets. The Wu-Tang Clan even wore them in their early press photos, looking like they just stepped off a construction site, ready to build an empire. The thick brown fabric became a badge of honor, a way of saying, "We come from the ground up." And Carhartt didn't resist. They didn't suddenly release a street line or change their logo. They just kept doing what they always did, making tough clothes for tough people. Ironically, that quiet consistency made them even cooler. In an era full of loud fashion and flashy brands, Carhartt's silence spoke volumes. But it was in Europe where the real streetwear revolution took off. In the late 80s and early 90s, a Swiss designer named Edwin Fea saw what was happening in the US, how Carhartt had become a street icon without even trying. So with Carhartt's blessing, he founded Carhartt WIP, which stands for Work in Progress. YP took the DNA of Carhartt, the rugged fabrics, the workwear silhouettes, and tailored them for the streets. Slimmer cuts, new colorways, and limited drops gave the brand a second life among European youth. Think of it like Carhartt with an edge, the same toughness but styled for nightlife, skate parks, and music festivals. While American Carhartt was still about utility, Carhartt WIP was about culture. It partnered with record labels, underground artists, and graffiti collectives. It didn't just sell clothes, it sold belonging. Suddenly, wearing a Carhartt WIP beanie or jacket wasn't just a fashion choice. It was a symbol of subculture, of people who didn't follow trends but made them. As streetwear exploded in the 2000s and 2010s, Carhartt WIP's influence spread far beyond skate parks and record stores. High-end designers started borrowing from workwear aesthetics. Suddenly, you saw runway models dressed like mechanics, fashion houses launching utility collections, and stylists calling duck canvas chic. Brands like Supreme, APC, and Vetements all collaborated with Carhartt, blending street and luxury in ways that would have been unthinkable in Hamilton Carhartt's time. What started as practical clothing for laborers was now defining modern fashion's sense of authentic cool. And it wasn't about irony. The world had fallen in love with functionality. Carhartt represented something raw, unfiltered, an antidote to fast fashion and pretense. People wanted something real, and Carhartt, without even trying, had always been that. If you look at a Carhartt piece today, the Detroit jacket, the double-knee pants, the watch beanie, they've barely changed in over a century, and that's the magic. Their design wasn't meant for trends, it was built to last. That very consistency made it timeless. Every stain, every tear, every faded patch tells a story. And in streetwear, stories are currency. What's truly fascinating is that Carhartt now lives two parallel lives. In the US, it's still very much a workwear brand. Farmers, carpenters, and electricians buy it for the same reasons they always have: durability and function. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Carhartt Work in Progress continues to thrive as a cultural powerhouse in fashion and music. It's a rare brand that can exist in both worlds without losing credibility. The guy welding steel beams and the DJ playing in Berlin might be wearing the same logo for completely different reasons. Yet both are drawn by the same thing: authenticity. So how did Carhartt go from workwear to streetwear? By never pretending to be anything else. It stayed true to its roots, while the world around it changed. What started as protection for railroad workers became a badge of identity for skaters, rappers, and style icons. From muddy job sites to neon-lit city streets, Carhartt didn't evolve into fashion. Fashion evolved toward Carhartt. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.